Okay, so after struggling through 6B and hardly making it through every episode, like when I watch episodes from season 7, I'm like, oh my god, this is actually okay. Now, if we compare them to other shows, then you would be like, no, this is crap. But anyway, I guess that's why I kind of have a different standard for PLL, and I actually like 7A, and I thought this episode was really good. Now, I know a lot of you disagree, but I don't know. You can let me know in the thoughts down below what you think. So it starts off with Hannah building kind of a lair, and it's really annoying that everyone has a lair in this show, but this one kind of has a purpose because she's trying to lure Noel to this lair because she's convinced he's AD and she wants to torture him. She makes a video basically because I think she feels like Noel might kill her, and she's like, you know, if I die, this is what's going on, blah blah blah. But anyway, I definitely don't think Noel is AD. If you do, let me know down below why, but I definitely don't think so. So Marco, I think, tells Spencer that Archer is in France using a fake passport, which we all know Archer is in the freaking ground. So who is this person posing to be Archer? I really think it has to be Rin, but I'm curious to see what you think. Thumbs up if you think it is Rin. Marco, by the way, drives me absolutely insane. I'm so sick of these irrelevant characters, and they try to make them important for like a few episodes and then they disappear, like Lorenzo and all these other people, Eddie Lamb and whatever, and they're gone. Actually kind of like Eddie Lamb. I liked him, you know. What happened to him though, it really, really, really bothers me. So anyway, he tries to get Spencer to go out with him, and she's like going through so much boy drama that she's just not having it right now, which that's actually really smart of her. But I feel like down the road they could get together, because I really don't think Spoby is going to happen for a variety of reasons. But thumbs up if you don't like Marco as well. So Hannah is stalking Noel, and she follows him, and he's at this dumpster, and he throws an iPhone in, and when she goes to get it, it's like a picture of shower. Sarah. But anyway, so we find out later that that is Sarah's phone, and so she's like connecting dots here, and she's like, oh my god, he had her phone, he obviously killed her. Of course, I think she already thought he killed her, but you know. Okay, so one of my favorite parts of this episode was the Jaria hookup. That is Jason and Arya. We found out that in the past, and I think this was before Liam, Arya and Jason had a thing, and they had so much chemistry, and they honestly to this day have so much chemistry. And like, I've always been an Ezria shipper, but wow, like Jason is just so hot, and I don't have the words. Like, thumbs up if you agree with me. Like, she's the luckiest girl in the world to have Ezra want her and Jason want her, and okay. So Paige is like, I never really liked Paige, but she has to be more annoying than she's ever been. But I really think that Emily is going to get this swim coach job because Paige seems to want her to get it. She's kind of backing off. I never really think that she wanted that job. Like, she just came back to Rosewood to basically stalk her ex-girlfriend, and she's like one of those psycho exes, you know, and she just drives me absolutely crazy. So Spencer and Emily go to this place where I guess Noel, they think he is, or he's been before. He used to kind of camp out there or whatever, I don't know, like this house, and they find some really interesting stuff there. So the first thing they find is kind of frustrating, I think, for all of us fans. And it's a reference to Maya. Now, this has been like a source of controversy for such a long time because, you know, we thought she died like a million years ago when we all started watching this when we were like 5. But then they've kind of been toying with the idea that she could still be alive, and they bring her up. But then maybe like a year ago, Marlene tweeted that the Maya storyline was completely dead, and Maya's dead, and they're not bringing her back, and this is not relevant. And then they go and mention her in this week's episode, and it's just like, what? So they find this box, like a wooden box with a symbol carved on top, and Emily immediately realizes that this was Maya's tattoo, like the same as Maya's tattoo. So does she have anything to do with this entire storyline, or are they just screwing with us again? I think they're just messing with us and trolling us, but you can let me know your thoughts down below. Anyway, inside was even more important. There was a flash drive, and so Spencer and Emily start looking at it on this laptop, and it had some major stuff on it. So like, we see a scene from the dollhouse where Spencer was like drugged or passed out or whatever, and we actually see Noel there. Like, we see his face, and we were watching this live, you and me, and we were all like freaking out when I had my live reaction show, and he was putting fake blood everywhere because he wanted her to think that he did something terrible. Now, I definitely don't think he's AD, and I think he has like a motive that we just don't understand yet, and like he feels like the girls have done him wrong or whatever, and he feels like so validated in what he's doing. I'm not even sure he's actually killed anyone before, but I would love to know your thoughts on Noel. Post those down below because, you know, I don't know. So Sabrina, she is just as annoying as Paige, and she's trying to get Emily to talk to her, and she's like, can't understand that Emily has real issues to deal with, and she thinks that she just wants to break up with her or whatever, and she's just so annoying. Like, Sabrina and Paige need to go. They're both psycho stalkers, in my opinion. So Hannah is texting Noel, but he doesn't know it's Hannah, and she gets him to meet her at a bar, and before he gets there, she drugs his drink, but I knew he wasn't going to fall for that, so she tries to get him to drink it. He's like, oh no, you have a drink first, and she's like, no, and so then it's completely obvious that it's drugged, and she's like, I know you killed Sarah, and he kind of gets really angry, and he steals that film back from her, and he's like, if you don't watch out, you're going to end up just like Sarah. Again, I don't think he killed Sarah, but I think he's really seriously warning her at this point, but she can't let it go. She's gotta find him again. She can't stop, you know, she's like obsessed because she thinks he's AD. So Spencer decides to call Marco to tell him about this flash drive, which is probably a really stupid mistake. And while she's waiting on him, she's like looking at stuff on her computer, and someone like breaks her window, and it's obviously AD or whatever. You see the black hooded person, and I think we all saw this coming. They steal the flash drive, but what was weird is that Marco shows up at like the exact same time. That was kind of weird, but of course the flash drive is gone again. Another huge piece of information from this episode is that we got the confirmation that Nicole is dead. Ezra texted Aria, which was a really emotional moment for her. That makes me really happy. I think it's safe to say the Ezra wedding is back on. And it's good because Aria almost hooked up with Jason in this episode, and I don't know how she survived the temptation, because I don't know if I mean, I'm not saying cheating is good, but Jason. But anyway, so she didn't hook up with him, and I think that wedding's definitely back on, but it still bothers me how Ezra treated her and how he was obsessed about going to another country to search for his ex-girlfriend. That just really annoys me. I still think that was not, he just shouldn't have done that, you know? So anyway, we see Paige spying on Sabrina, which is ridiculous. She's reached a new level of Psycho X, in my opinion. Thumbs up if you agree. And earlier in the episode, like, Aria and Jason go to like the courthouse to try to get documents about Mary's kid to figure out who this person was, and they didn't really want to give them to them. Finally, they did send some over, but like all the information had been redacted or blacked out. The only thing they could see was the name of the judge like presiding over this, and it was Noel Kahn's dad. So I pretty much thought he has to be like Mary's other kid, because it said like, I think we had heard somewhere, I don't know. I thought that the Dr. Cochran guy said that the judge had adopted Mary's kid. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I just started to think, well, Noel has to be her kid, right? So I don't know. I'd love to know what you think down below. And then the episode ended. It was great because, I guess it was great, because, you know, Hannah is still stalking Noel, and she gets him cornered, sort of. Well, she surprises him and hits him over the head with a baseball bat. So she's definitely taking him back to that lair. She's definitely going to torture him. Yes, it looks really crazy next week, with a lot of crazy stuff happening, and a lot of people have expectations, or they've heard rumors about people dying and all this stuff, so I don't know. But I can't wait to watch it, and I hope you will watch it live with me, just like we did for this week's episode. So next week at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, you can just come to my channel, and we will watch it live and react live, and it'll just be epic. And I'll have all that information down below. Plus, I will tweet it out in the morning on next Tuesday, so you'll know all the details. We'll still have my live chat on Wednesday and my video on Thursday. But thank you so much for watching this episode of KellieTV, and I will see you very soon. Bye.